my name is Annabelle. I always thought it best not to tell anyone about my personal problems because people would only judge me. But now I'm ready to tell my story. And I hope you won't judge me either. This is home, and this is my mum, getting ready to host yet another dinner party for a gaggle of friends. The laughing from downstairs got so loud I walked out and slammed the door behind me. I spent that day sitting in the park where no one could find me, and that's where I met Jake. And before I knew it, we were exchanging numbers. After that meeting, we kept in touch, and soon I was calling him my boyfriend. Mum left for work early, so I started skipping school when I could. He treated me like a proper adult, like a real woman. He even bought me a little lace nightie, and he was pretty eager to see me in it. He wanted me to do a photo shoot for him. He said I looked like a model. He said he was going to send the pictures to his friends. I didn't want him to at first, but he said everyone did it, and he wanted to show everyone how lucky he was. One day, we were interrupted by a knock at the door. He'd invited a friend over, without telling me. I wanted to make a good impression, but as soon as he walked in, I knew that I didn't like him. And after that day, he was always there. I wanted a relationship with Jake, not his mates. One time, it got too much for me, and I had to get out of the room. It was never just the two of us anymore. Without warning, I was slammed into a wall. For the first time, Jake scared me. He promised it'd never happen again, and I believed him. That wasn't the last of it. I couldn't do anything I wanted anymore. I thought it was his friends who had made him act like he did, and it wasn't the real Jake, who I knew and loved. When I came home, I pretended like nothing had happened. I couldn't take my mum being on my back as well. It became routine, and I started to just switch myself off. Jake hurt me in more ways than one, and he wanted his mates to do the same. And I grew accustomed to a way of life that I didn't even know existed. A few weeks later, Miss Adams, my form tutor, stopped me in the corridor and asked me to come to her office with her. When we sat down, she started to ask how everything was at home. She knew something wasn't right. I tried to say everything was fine, but we both knew I was lying. I hadn't told anyone about Jake and his friends. I didn't know where to begin. Miss Adams kept asking questions, and before long, it all poured out. And that Saturday morning, I set off walking round to Jake's. Jake and Rod came out of the front door, escorted by 2 police officers. I knew Jake had seen me, but it was as if he hadn't. He looked right through me. Did I mean nothing? All those times he told me he loved me, was that just lies? I felt sick to my stomach. What had he done? What had I done? When I got home that day, I was still in shock, and I noticed my reflection. For a second, I didn't recognise who was looking back. When he was taken away, Jake took a part of me with him, and I was determined to get back to where I used to be. No more sympathetic looks from other kids at school. It would take a long time for the invisible marks to heal. Your body is your own, and you have the right to defend it. Do not let anyone convince you that your body belongs to them.